Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope your weekend is off to a wonderful start. Thank you so much for stopping by. Today I get to share with you some new items over at the Spellbinder shop. These are by Becca Feeken and it is incredible, I have to say. These are the Elegant Twist. It's part of the Elegant Twist collection. Actually, I have two pieces of the collection, the Elegant Twist circles and then the Elegant Twist rectangles, but there's more to the collection. I'll leave the entire collection down below, but the two that I'm playing with are the circles and the rectangles, but they are so fun and they do so much. It's a 7-piece set for both the circles and the rectangles, and they layer all together like a piece of a puzzle, and it creates the most beautiful thing for your cards. I'm telling you, these are, I love frames anyway, and when I saw these it stole my heart because you can do so much with it. The largest I believe will fit a card front size. I think my panel here was cut crooked because there's a little bit overhanging, so I'm just going to grab a bigger piece of cardstock, but I want to die cut it out and show you what this does. Actually, I'm going to die cut it out a few ways to show you what the set can do. But the sky's the limit, and you can just mix and match to your heart's content with this. I'm going to take the two largest, layer them together, the outline piece, and then also the twist piece. I'm going to layer those together and just tape them down. I'm going to do the same thing with the next two sizes, taking that outline piece and then the twist part. And then I'll take the third set too. We'll just tape these down. Now, the twisted piece has a little scalloped edge, and on the inside of the outline die, there's a little twisted edge. You want to line those up, just so it's cohesive. You know, it'll die cut beautifully when you do that, when you line them up. So this is what it looks like when you die cut just those two dies out. I love this. It's so unique. I've never seen anything like it, and I just think it's beautiful. Isn't that so neat, the way that's just twisted? They're great on their own, but if you layer them, I'm thinking maybe different colored, I'm using white here, but if you use different colored cardstock, I think it would be gorgeous, just like that. Okay, I'm just showing you how to do a few things with the circles, but the squares you can do the exact same thing with. Now, these create frames. So if you take the two outline dies and put the twist in the middle, it will create a beautiful twisted frame. I'm going to create 3 frames at one time. So what you do is just layer the whole, you just layer the whole stack together. So all 7 dies, just making sure those edges or the scallops are all lining up on the inside here. I'm just going to tape them down so they don't shift, and then run this through, and then here you can see that you get that little frame, and then you get the twisted frame, which is just gorgeous. You can see here against colored cardstock, and it fits an A2 panel just beautifully. And they layer together. If you wanted to, you could do that. I think that would be pretty on its own or individually, but super neat. So 2 different things that you can do with it so far. Now I'm going to take another piece of cardstock here, and we're just going to die cut out the background. These dies here actually create a very small scalloped circle. So it's a nesting scalloped circle set too. There's 4 of these. 3 of them are hollowed in the middle, and then you have that solid smallest one. But they layer together beautifully. You can put them behind your die cut pieces for extra color detail, or you could layer your frame on top, and all of these have scallop detail on there. These layer nicely together also, so you get so much versatility with just one set. I'm super excited to share with you. Now you can also just take the twisted frame part, layer them together, 1, 2, you could even do 3, and it will die cut out that twisted pattern on a panel. Isn't that gorgeous? I just love when dies do this because the wheels start turning, you know. Even this would be pretty just with a sentiment in it, maybe with a colored background behind it. And then the rectangles do the exact same thing, guys. So these are nice little staple dies. Okay, we're going to set all of these aside, and then we are going to create some projects. 2 cards using the circle and then also the rectangle set here. Just going to put these on my magnetic sheet here, just keep things tidy. I'm going to use the 2 largest ones that we created first, and then the rest of these I'm just going to stack together and put them behind my storage pocket here. Okay, now we're going to do a little extra die cutting. I wanted gold behind my frame, so I'm going to take some gold cardstock and take the middle size piece here and die cut that out. It's going to give me a scalloped circle that will fit behind my medium circle up on top there. Now I want to create a rectangle card, so I'm taking the largest frame portion. I'm going to take the twisted frame portion, kind of lightly tack those down. But for this card, we're going to do something a little bit different. Instead of using that center piece, we're going to skip it and then take the twisted part and center that on the panel. And then I do end up taking the smallest frame piece, or the second to the smallest, the one that just dropped, and putting that in the middle too, just to create a frame. Now I'm taking this piece, die cutting that out with some yellow cardstock. Now this is what the frame looks like. I think that's just gorgeous. Now this piece was on the inside of that skinny outline die. So it creates skinny frames too, guys, on the circles and these. Now this does have detail on it. It's not a complete rectangle. There's a little bit of a wavy edge to it that will line up perfectly with the pattern that's on the frame. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add glue behind it and just line it up with the scallops on the inside of my frame, and it lines up beautifully. So you get even skinny frames with this set. So super duper neat. So that background's ready to go. Now for this one, I'm just going to add a little tape behind it. I'm going to tape it down to my gold circle we die cut. When you die cut out that circle, you get a little gold frame too. I keep that because you never know when you want to use that on a card. I'm going to go ahead and add foam squares behind this piece. We're going to pop it up and place this on our larger elegant twist piece, and it layers so pretty together. Love that. So our backgrounds are done for both cards. Now I'm going to bring in a stamp set from Fun Stamper's Journey. This is the Friendship Blessing stamp set. I've used this before many times. I love the florals in here, but I just colored them in and die cut them out. I have the coordinating dies, but I did it off camera because I mainly wanted to talk about the frames today. But my images are done for my card. I went ahead and added foam adhesive along the inside of this frame. There was enough room to add a thin strip, no problem. And then I'm going to go ahead and adhere this to a standard A2 size card base. I love that. Isn't that so pretty? So neat. And you don't have to go that thick. You could do 1 layer or 2 layer. You could do 3 layers if you want and have a little skinny window in the middle. Okay, now I'm going to add my flowers. Just going to kind of arrange them, adding foam adhesive. This frame is neat too because you could add twine in between the twisted area. You could tuck your flowers in like I'm doing here. That would be super neat. Putting a little piece of twine or ribbon in there. But I just arranged my florals, and then I'm going to bring in some gingham ribbon that matches my cardstock here. Everything that I use today, guys, will be down below, but just tying a small bow. We're going to secure that to the very bottom of the frame with the glue dot. Just tack that down, and then we'll trim the tails of our ribbon. I believe this is banana cream gingham ribbon from Fun Stamper's Journey. It's the same color of cardstock, that yellow cardstock, so it coordinates beautifully too. I'm just going to do a little bit of readjusting, and I'm not going to add any sentiment to this. I think this is a beautiful just because card. It would be great for just about any occasion, for a birthday, get well, even congratulations, even a sympathy card. I think it would be real pretty. So that's my first card. Now we're going to work on our second one, taking another standard A2 size card base. I'm going to add adhesive behind this frame, and we're going to put this right in the center so we have open area on the top and bottom. And you can see it fits beautifully. I'm going to add a very thin strip of foam adhesive on the stem of my flower here. The foam squares that I use don't have very much dimension, so when you layer two together, it's really not that bulky. I'm going to add a foam square to the very top of my flower, which I ran out. I got to open a new pack. What I like to do with my foam adhesive is trim it into 3 pieces, and then I keep it in a little container on my desk. Just easier to manage for me. So I'm just going to trim these real fast. Should have been a little more prepared. Sorry about that. Okay, this is going to go to the left here. I added the leaves with foam adhesive as well. I die cut out my sentiment, and I think that looks great. All we have to do is add some bells and whistles. I'm not going to do much, but add some journey glaze just to give the little flourish with the little circles some dimension. I'm going to add some dots to each one of those, kind of skipping every other one. When 2 of the circles are together and you add that journey glaze, it runs together to create an oval. So if you skip one, you can keep that circle shape. And I colored in my flower, but I didn't do the stem part. So I'm going to do that real fast. Okay, I'm going to add some journey glaze to this card too. I'm going to add a couple dots to the leaves as if it's some dew. And then we're just going to add some clear drops in the background for our first card here. And then those are my cards for today, guys, using Becca Feeken's Elegant Twist collection, a few items from the collection. But I encourage you guys to check it out. It's pretty neat and versatile. Great for your stash. Have a fabulous day. Thanks so much for joining me. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.